Breaking news out of the Bahamas tonight. So police there have now released Brian Hooker. Again, this is the husband of a Michigan woman who has been missing for nearly 10 days after vanishing on a boating trip. And Royal Bahamas Police Commissioner says that authorities made this decision after meeting with the prosecutors. But remember, there's something important here. Apparently, from their statement, it still indicates that Hooker may be a suspect. Investigation ongoing. Is he in the clear? Hooker had been taken into custody after his wife, Lynette, disappeared on April 4th. And from the very beginning, Brian Hooker's story has been the same, that she fell overboard from their small dinghy in rough seas, high winds, darkness. Hooker claims he threw Lynette a flotation device and that he last saw her, trying to swim away as the strong currents pulled them apart. And from there, he claims he spent hours adrift, paddling with a single oar, drifting nearly 7 miles before stumbling ashore at around 4 a.m., where he finally got help. And since then, search teams have been trying desperately to find and locate Lynette. And while Hooker categorically and unequivocally denies any wrongdoing, you have friends and family who have been raising a lot of questions due to the unusual set of circumstances here. And also, by the way, the couple's reported tumultuous past. And now we're learning, to give you an idea, that a friend of Lynette apparently shared text messages with CBS News from 2024 following a split with Brian, seemingly indicating that she had concerns about being with him. Lynette wrote, "I guess it was just too much closeness. We decided to call it quits. I'm not going back." When asked if they might reconcile, Lynette responded, "It was real bad. I can't be out there with him." Now, this is a very different picture from the one that they shared publicly of the happy couple at sea. So tonight, with no charges filed, the questions are only growing. What exactly happened on that water? Well, earlier today, I spoke to Lynette Hooker's daughter, Karli Aylesworth, and her boyfriend, Steve Hansen. And for the record, before I show you this, these are their opinions about what happened, okay? This is not from investigators. This has not been confirmed by investigators. But with that in mind, here's part of the conversation. So we are learning that Brian has been released without charges. Karli, your reaction to that?
I mean, I'm happy, I guess, that they didn't find enough, even though I know we're not done learning, or not learning, but not done looking yet. I know the Coast Guard's going to head down there and do their own investigation.
It's complicated. It's complicated. And Steve, I'm sure you feel the same way, being so close to this.
Karli said it almost perfectly. As long as they did a thorough and diligent investigation, that's all we were asking for. We want to make sure that someone looked at all evidence apparently out and gets looked at. That's all we want, is just someone to look at it.
And I want to take a closer look at this. So Karli, I understand that there might have been an update from today. I understand you spoke to the Coast Guard?
Yep, today.
And what did the Coast Guard tell you?
That they handed over everything that they gathered about Brian and his history with my mom, and sent it over to the Bohemian police, and then they're gonna head down themselves tomorrow to do their own investigation. Any
insight into what that information about Brian's past may be?
Just like his criminal history of possible child abuse and choking out my mom.
I want to ask you both this. The conversation, if there was a conversation, because I understand that Brian had reportedly called multiple times after your mom went missing. What was the nature? Did you ever, and both of you, speak to him? What was his demeanor? What happened there?
The only time I spoke to him is when he called Sunday night to tell me that she was missing. Otherwise, I haven't been answering any of his calls or his texts. He has left voicemails, and he has left a few text messages through Messenger.
And is there some, and Steve, I'll throw this to you too, is there anything you're noticing either now or before that might be a red flag, something odd about Brian?
The way he spoke, it was just a little, he could have been in shock, but it was just very monotone, no expression, no voice inflections, no up, no down, no pitch, no. He sounded very monotone. It was like, by the way, your mom fell overboard, and it was, after that, it was kind of a blur. It was surreal.
And that's not typically how he speaks. Like, this is a guy who's just always is kind of monotone, or is that, you're saying that seems a little strange?
That's a little strange. He's not a monotone guy. He's very loud and
especially if your wife falls overboard,
Yeah.
you'd have some kind of urgency, some kind of, hey, by the way, my wife fell overboard a day and an hour ago, and I'm now just telling you your mom is in the ocean somewhere. That's basically what it equated to.
Let me ask you this, Karli. Aside from Brian's, alleged strange behavior, do you think that this is an accident in any way, or what should our viewers, our listeners know about your mom where you say, listen, it doesn't seem likely that she would have fallen overboard and couldn't get herself to safety, or something about, I don't know, Brian and his ability in the water? Again, if people say, do you think that this is an accident, your response to them?
If this was an accident and she did accidentally fall in, I feel like he saw the opportunity to maybe lose her and then just paddled away, or with the broken or paddle, he could have hit her and that's how it broke, or he pushed her in, and before he did that, he took off her Apple Watch and threw it in, because I don't feel like that would have just fell off. So I don't feel like this is an accident because she's a really fit woman. She used to run all the time. She can't anymore because she has shin splints, but she does yoga all the time and CrossFit working out. So she's a fit woman. So this doesn't make any sense. And they were really smart about not going in the water when it's storming out. They stay in the boat, and they're usually pretty good about that. So maybe he convinced her that they'll be okay. So I don't know.
Steve, I also understand that both you and Karli may have plans to go there, to do maybe your own investigation, speak with the boaters, try to get a better sense of what happened to Lynette. Am I correct?
Yeah, there's quite a few people that have reached out to Karli that said, hey, we're more than willing to help. Here's some where we think she could be. We've looked in other areas, and the people have been generous, beyond generous. They're good people down there, and they're all willing and wanting to help.
Speaking of which, Steve, I understand that I think a key area is this restaurant bar where they were both seen. Do you know anything more about that area, that bar, who might have said anything, whether there was surveillance footage, anything like that?
We're still waiting for the authorities to share any kind of information like that with us. They've said, we've heard there are videos of them in public, but we don't know of what and how long and what it actually showed.
I do hope that they look for cameras at the restaurant to see if they were actually there and what they were like.
Do you feel that the dinghy might have more evidence potentially?
Yes, because there was a broken paddle, so maybe there could have been blood somewhere on the dinghy or something, or even just to see if it was freshly cleaned recently would be nice to know.
So again, thanks to Karli Aylesworth and Steve Hansen for sharing what they believed happened, as Brian Hooker has now been released and not charged. If you'd like to support Karli in her mission to find her mother, Lynette, check out her GoFundMe. It's titled Help Find and Honor My Missing Mom.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.